When I first moved to the Philippines, I thought I understood the idea of being friendly. I'm American. We smile at strangers. We say hi to neighbors. We wave from driveways and sometimes borrow sugar once a year. I thought that was friendliness. I was wrong. In the Philippines, neighbors don't just live next to you. They live with you emotionally, socially, sometimes practically. They know when you're sick before you say anything. They know when you're sad, even if you're still smiling. They notice when your lights don't turn on at night. They notice when you skip breakfast. And somehow, without any official invitation, they show up exactly when you need them most. I didn't understand this at first. Honestly, it confused me. I remember my first week in my small neighborhood. I was still jet-lagged, still figuring out which switch turned on which light, still trying to understand why roosters crow at hours of the day like they don't believe in clocks. I stayed mostly inside, unpacking boxes, sweating quietly, missing home a little more than I expected. On my second day, someone knocked on my door. I froze. In America, a knock usually means something is wrong. A delivery, a complaint, a stranger selling something you don't want. I opened the door cautiously, half expecting a clipboard. Instead, there was a woman smiling so wide it felt like she already knew me. She was holding a plate of food wrapped in banana leaves. "Welcome," she said, like she had been waiting for me. That was my first lesson. I tried to politely decline. I said I had just eaten. I said I wasn't hungry. I said thank you maybe 5 times. She smiled, nodded, and handed me the plate anyway. "You can eat later," she said. Then she left. I stood there holding food made by someone whose name I didn't even know yet. That would never happen back home. In my old neighborhood, people barely knew who lived next door. Here, someone cooked for me before learning how to pronounce my name. Over the next few days, it kept happening. Someone would wave every time I stepped outside. Someone would shout hello from across the street. Someone would ask where I was going, not because they were nosy, but because they genuinely cared. At first, it made me uncomfortable. I wasn't used to being seen that much. In America, privacy is sacred. In the Philippines, presence is. One afternoon, I was struggling with a leaky faucet. I hadn't told anyone. I hadn't asked for help. I was just quietly losing a battle with a wrench and my patience. Suddenly, a man from 2 houses down appeared at my gate. "You need help?" he asked. I stared at him, shocked. "How did you know?" he laughed. "We hear everything." 10 minutes later, my faucet was fixed. I tried to pay him. He refused. I tried to thank him. He shrugged. "That's normal," he said. Normal. That word kept coming up. What felt extraordinary to me felt ordinary to them. As weeks passed, I noticed something else. Neighbors didn't just help with practical things. They shared life, real life, messy life, emotional life. One night, there was a power outage. The whole street went dark. In America, that usually means everyone stays inside, waiting for the lights to come back on. Here, people came out of their houses. Someone brought a candle. Someone brought snacks. Someone brought a guitar. Children ran around laughing like the darkness was a gift instead of a problem. I sat there, sweating in the humid air, listening to stories in a language I barely understood, and somehow still feeling included. No one asked why I was there. No one asked how long I'd stay. I was just there, and that was enough. That's when it hit me. Neighbors here aren't a convenience. They're a safety net. If someone gets sick, food appears. If someone loses a job, opportunities are whispered about. If someone's child needs watching, no babysitter is needed. The village is already present. Back home, independence is praised. Here, interdependence is honored. I saw it clearly the day an older woman down the street fell ill. She didn't go to a nursing home. She didn't hire a caregiver. Her neighbors rotated care. Someone brought soup. Someone washed clothes. Someone sat with her so she wouldn't feel alone. No one complained. No one posted about it. No one asked for credit. They just did it. I thought about how in America, loneliness is considered normal. People live alone, struggle alone, cry alone. Here, loneliness feels like a shared responsibility. If someone is alone, someone else fills the space. At first, I worried about boundaries. I worried about being overwhelmed. I worried about not having enough personal space. But something unexpected happened. I felt safer. When I got sick for the first time, I didn't even tell anyone. Somehow they found out anyway. Someone knocked with soup. Someone asked if I needed medicine. Someone texted later to check if I was okay. I realized that I could disappear for days back home and no one would notice. Here, disappearing isn't easy. And instead of feeling trapped, I felt protected. I also noticed how neighbors treated each other's children. Kids weren't someone else's problem. They were everyone's responsibility. If a child ran too close to the street, any adult would call them back. If a kid was hungry, someone fed them. Discipline came with love, not fear. In America, we're careful not to interfere. Here, caring looks like interference, until you understand the intention behind it. It took me a while to stop interpreting concern as control. One evening, I came home late. I didn't think anything of it. The next day, a neighbor casually asked if I was okay because they noticed I arrived much later than usual. I almost laughed. In the US, no one would notice. Here, my routine mattered to someone other than me. And slowly, without realizing it, I started doing the same. I noticed when someone didn't open their store that morning. I noticed when a child seemed quieter than usual. I noticed when someone looked tired. Caring is contagious here. There's also something deeply human about how problems are shared. When someone is struggling financially, neighbors don't shame them. They don't lecture. They quietly adjust. They share food. They extend credit. They offer work. Pride takes a backseat to survival and dignity. I remember asking a neighbor once why they helped so much, why they gave so freely. She looked at me, genuinely confused by the question, "What if someday it's me?" She said, "That sentence changed how I see community." In America, help often feels transactional. Here, it's cyclical. You give because you've received. You receive because you've given. And even if you haven't yet, someone trusts that you will. As a foreigner, I expected to always feel like an outsider. But neighbors didn't treat me that way. They didn't see me as the American. They saw me as the one who lives there. Belonging wasn't something I had to earn. It was something I was given. There were moments that made me laugh too. Neighbors commenting on what I cooked. Neighbors offering advice I didn't ask for. Neighbors reminding me to eat, like I might forget. At first, I thought, don't they have their own lives? Then I realized this is their life. Community isn't something separate from daily routine. It is the routine. And yes, sometimes it's noisy. Sometimes it's chaotic. Sometimes privacy feels like a luxury. But in exchange, you get something rare. You get people who notice. People who show up. People who don't let you disappear. Now, when I think about why Filipinos treat neighbors like family, I don't think it's just culture or tradition or habit. I think it's survival shaped by kindness. History shaped by cooperation. A society built on the understanding that life is easier when shared. Family here isn't limited by blood. It's expanded by proximity and care. And as a blonde American woman who grew up valuing independence, this place quietly taught me a different kind of strength. The strength of not having to do everything alone. The strength of knowing that if I fall, someone will notice. The strength of community. I didn't just move into a neighborhood. I moved into a family.